Joe, are personal trainers worth the money? Some. Maybe. It depends on the personal trainer, that's for sure. So it depends on what you're looking to do and what your goals are and what your experience is. I mean, can you train on your own? Sure. You could train on your own. Can you do it on your own? Yeah, absolutely. Many people do. Everyone can. Everyone can. Everyone can do it on their own. But sometimes it's nice to have someone, everyone's got that preference. One, you have to have the financial ability to pay for a trainer. If you have a good trainer, there are bad personal trainers out there, but there are good doctors, there's bad doctors. There are good mechanics and there are bad mechanics. So I would recommend if you talk to a trainer, you can ask for a client list or a couple, are there a couple clients that I can talk to and just get some feedback? Or if you have like some reviews or a recommendation or someone that has a trainer that they really like, or someone that works with a trainer that's getting amazing results and you're like, hey, let me talk to your, that could be a good way to do it. So you can find out more about the person you're interested in and then check back here. I mean, certifications can be good or bad. Just because someone has a bunch of certifications doesn't mean they know what they're talking about, right? Just because a doctor has, they're an MD and they pass their boards doesn't mean they're really helpful. Doesn't mean they're thinking outside the box. Doesn't mean they're really spending enough time with you. Doesn't mean that they're not cutting corners. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. So there are great, amazing personal trainers and there are personal trainers that suck. So worth the money is relative. What are you really trying to do it for? Is it because you don't really want to put in the work to learn yourself? Is it because you're just, you're nervous about going to the gym and not knowing what to do? You're like, where are you in your journey? Everyone's different because of course you have like professional bodybuilders that have coaches and trainers. You have athletes, professional athletes that have strength coaches and trainers. So don't think that just because you're more advanced doesn't mean that you won't benefit. I mean, coaching and training, like having someone that's pushing you, that's there, that you're paying to make sure that you're getting everything that you can out of your training sessions, that's really valuable. That's really valuable. So the pros, I feel like there's this little gap, right? You have personal training and coaching is really good. Like most people in fitness, they do it either at the beginning or when they're super advanced. In the middle, usually not so much. It's either you're a pro, you're a bodybuilder, you are an athlete, or you're just getting started. In the middle, people kind of tend to do it on their own, it seems, or they do like CrossFit or a group exercise class, or they have a training partner. So it seems like those two extremes, like beginners and then more advanced, because once you're really advanced, once you've been training for like 15, 20 years, 30 years, or you're a professional athlete, one, your money and your success in your career is based on your performance. So you're investing in your performance, like investing in your business. You're investing in yourself and your athletic ability so you can perform better. And plus the progress, once you have a lot of experience and you're exposed to fitness and all these different stresses a lot over the course of years and years, it's harder to make progress. So, I'm not in this like hardcore bulking mode, but I lift hard and I've been bulking, essentially kind of like, training for strength and bodybuilding style. I just don't eat the way and train exactly the way I used to. I'm not intent on trying to just get as big as I can endlessly because it's exhausting and it's just not my thing anymore. I love training hard and getting big or training to get big, psychologically. But honestly, I'm not trying to eat to gain 5 pounds or a pound or a pound. It's just exhausting. I go through phases where I kind of like eat big for a while and then kind of pull back. And then it's hard. It's hard to bulk. It's hard to do that. So the progress gets more and more incremental as you get more experience and as you expose your body to more stresses and different types of dieting approaches and different exercises. You don't get that shock value. So it's hard to build muscle. So a pound of muscle, if you've been training for 20 years, is a lot harder to get than someone who's just kind of fresh out. So depends. There you go. Do what Matthew says. Matthew says, doctors, you should shop around for the right trainer. Yeah. And do a couple, say like, hey, can we do a trial class or something like that, or do one session and see how you feel. But of course, a trainer, if they're a good trainer, they're not going to crush you first workout. That's one of the things that trainers often do. That can be a bad thing that trainers do, because if you're trying to sell someone personal training, you want to show your value. So a lot of times you'll have a trainer and they'll crush you in the first workout because they're trying to sell you, right? They're trying to be like, hey, look, I'm awesome. Look at this amazing workout. But fitness isn't about just getting crushed. Fitness is not about just leaving with blood coming out of your eyes. That's not necessarily progressive. That could just be a shocking workout. And I've used this an analogy tons of times. If you, let's say you just get let's say you have a sled, right? A sled or a bag of bricks. You're just dragging it around a golf course, just dragging around a field. You're going to be exhausted, super sore, your calves, your back, your shoulders. But is that really progressing you in the right direction? Are you going to be seeing a ton of progress? Are you going to be building muscle, getting leaner, getting healthier? You're just kind of overloading your body, just getting exhausted. So it's not about feeling beat up and feeling sore. It's about assessing another person, which is tough because you don't know how hard an exercise is off the bat. You have to kind of sense it out. So a good trainer, in my experience, will challenge your stabilization, will challenge your posture, will be, kind of getting that framework. And honestly, the best first session really won't make you that sore probably, unless you're doing a lot of stabilization training and you feel a lot of these like, tiny little muscles activating the next day. Like, oh shit, I feel this and stuff, but you shouldn't be like crushed. Any good trainer should not murder you the first session. So it's pretty reckless. And a lot of people have had problems from going to a trainer and then getting the shit kicked out of them, because that's kind of like it's a weird thing that it's associated with personal training, that a trainer is trying to always resell a client. So you're always trying to push it and do new things. And I think personal training can actually go down, not a dark road, but it kind of takes people away from the right focus, because if you're just giving people the same exercise over and over again, which is really what you're supposed to do to get results, if you're trying to build muscle or look like, improve your physique and your health and your mobility, you're doing a lot of repetitive shit over and over again. But a lot of these fancy exercises that you see on YouTube or Instagram, it's a lot of personal training shit that just kind of evolved from people trying to do something more exciting and better for a video, or, so new, like, wow, my trainer had me doing this. This was crazy. It's like, there's a lot of crazy shit you can do. It doesn't necessarily mean it's fitness, doesn't mean it's actually directed properly toward an actual outcome. Just because you can do something that's challenging, something weird sideways on a treadmill with your hands. Wow, I was walking on a treadmill with my hands, in a plank position. It was brutal. It's like, okay, why? Why the fuck would you do that? It's like super high risk. And what's the actual reward from that? Like, when is that actually necessary to walk on a treadmill on your hands? Cool. You risked spraining your wrist for no reason. I don't know. It's just weird things. And a lot of trainers do that just for shock value to, make it just to give themselves more value. So you just gotta be careful from that kind of signaling.